Get away.
Alright, hello everyone, my name is Jakuts. I'm here running at Bleed 2 along with my commentator, if you'd like you to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Rox. I'm going to be commentating Bleed 2 for y'all today, and I'm really excited to see how this goes.
So, before we get the run underway, I want to give a brief 2 to 3 minute explanation on what the heck this game is. So we do have that little much time left before we can get our final bid war results in. So if you want to get those donations in, go ahead and them. Last call. So before we get in the game, this is a run and gun shoot 'em up bullet hell-ish kind of game where we have control of either Rin here or the rival, which is like the alternate player 2 character. Now, of course, we have the ability to press WASD for movement, and we can also jump and shoot around. Now, with Rin, she can actually reflect any purple bullets or bright pink glowing attacks. You can also dash between 2 to 3 times in a row in any direction that you'd like. You can be changing these dashes at any point in your jump, and you have to be jumping before you actually dash, unless you're like walking off a platform or something like that. Now, as this is the freestyle category, we will have access to any and all possible weapons and abilities in the game. So as you can see here, I've got every single thing equipped. For the weapons, we've got our dual pistols, our pistols in katana, normal katana. We have white, chainsaw, laser rifle, and a rocket launcher. And then as far as our abilities, we have our classic triple dash. We have a flying kick that is also 3 times in a row. Teleport, you can sometimes get 3 to 4 dashes in. And then lastly, we have our energy blast, which we paired up with the laser rifle quite a bit. As far as weapons go, the usual ones that we're going to be wanting to use through levels are just the pistol and katana. They have the fastest fire rate. White is going to be our main damage weapon, and while it looked really bad right now, really slow and doesn't deal much damage, and it has very, very short range, this will actually increase as our style meter increases. So we have a few different ways to increase that style. Would you like to expand on that a bit, Fox?
Yeah, so our style meter is one of the big mechanics here in Bleed 2, which increases by doing certain actions, so that can be dodging bullets, dealing damage, anything that really benefits the player, that increases our style meter. And the more, and style is tied to each one of our weapons, so we change, you'll see Jakuts will be changing his weapons quite frequently to make sure that he can get his style up, but mostly with that white weapon. Because the more the style goes up, the more damage output it does, and the better the range gets. And so once the style meter for those weapons gets above A rank, because there's several ranks, it starts at D, C, B, A, and an S. Once we get up to A, and especially S rank, the amount of damage these special weapons are doing over our base pistols will be beneficial for us throughout the run.
Yes, and along with that, you can also do this little taunt that also raises your style. That is normally used in the new game run in one of the levels later on, but in this we can completely just annihilate that with rockets, and we don't have to worry about it basically at all. Alongside that, there is one last ability that we can do, which is to slow down time. It gives us a whole lot more access to our mobility, a whole lot more freedom of movement. But usually we're going to stay away from using that as much as we can, just because it's good for dodging attacks and getting out of the way sometimes. But, of course, it's a little bit slower for an RTA run. So, I'm going to try to avoid using it a little bit. Lastly, for the energy blast, this has a very long charge-up time, and it's going to be usually used at the very start of a boss fight. What we can do instead of that is to actually cancel early by switching our dashes after the energy blast actually comes out Rin, or the rival. So we can do that instead of that. So it's a little bit faster too, though a lot more hard to do with those kind of inputs. But with all of that out of the way, do we have our results for the bid war. I'm very curious. Who won? Who is the better hero?
Yeah, so Rin was the winner on this one.
Alright, so I guess we're going to be going as the greatest hero of all time. Get the classic story, get the fastest run, and we're going to laugh a lot
Yeah.
at our enemies. It's going to be great. As far as time goes, time starts exactly when I hit this normal button, and I believe we are just about ready to go. So I'll go ahead and give a countdown, and off to the races we get. Gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Just didn't click that. First of all, we're gonna go ahead and skip our starting cutscene there.
Get out.
Gonna swap out to teleport anytime we can, basically.
A lot of this, these main levels were to be, basically there's two areas of the game. There's a lot of bosses and there's a lot of this, which is a lot of really tight movement, making sure we're getting enemies out of the way as fast as possible so we can get to those bosses and kick butts as soon as we can. You're going to be seeing a lot of that, like you're seeing Jakuts using a lot of that dash movement, using a little bit of teleport, switching back and forth, and just being a lot of situational awareness throughout these stages.
Absolutely just deleting our first mini-boss there. It only takes a single energy blast to be able to defeat. So the energy blast actually ends up hitting that boss twice if you do slow down time. So that's like one of the only bosses in the game that actually procs it twice. So that's the reason why I just spam that a little bit before the fight starts. To get those two hits in.
Now we've got a little bit more movement.
Bit of a auto-scroller platform here, just to be able to fight the enemies as quickly as they come on the screen, switching weapons whenever we can to get the style up.
The faster we can get the
mirror
style
bar.
up, the better.
Yep. Start off with good energy blast. And chainsaw whenever we can. That's going to be a big weapon when it comes to any kind of stationary bosses that aren't going to be moving much. Here we go. Level 1 complete. While we are opening up to level 2, would you want to, or do you know, would you be able to explain any about the story that's going on here?
A little bit. You'll see him coming up, the rival we mentioned. We've got a couple of characters in this story here. We have that rival that you'll hear a dude who you'll see here towards the end of the stage driving a truck as soon as we get rid of this kitty copter. And so this is continuing on from a little bit from the first lead game, where Rin, of course, saved the world. And we're come along trying to, we have a character you'll see coming up a little bit later, Valentine. She has the blue hair, and she is trying to stop us and take all of our credit. And so we are trying to make sure that we get the credit that's rightfully ours. You'll see quite a few boss fights throughout the run with Valentine. She's one of the rival, as you see here, driving his nice little truck. Definitely our main enemies in this game. And she has her own kind of story arc here, which is by far one of the most fascinating, interesting for this type of game. Ooh, nice dash there. We don't want to hit the road here in this stage because that slows us down. And right on time, there's Valentine.
Oh, barely getting to the S rank here for this very, very quick meltdown. We have a energy blast, a laser, we dash in with white, and usually finish off chainsaw there.
Nice.
Which just completely annihilates this fight entirely. Instead of going to have Rival destroy Valentine's shield 3 times with his car, Instead, we can just completely delete it. The rockets, and it's very nice to go through, just to skip through.
Yeah, that's the method of rockets, is that they can destroy shields.
They'll be used quite frequently during the run, just for that reason.
It's another section getting rid of enemies.
Having to go up to Valentine's ship to essentially approach and see if we can get her to stop this kind of invasion that's happening that she's up to. Fun fact about these birds that are going through, on hard difficulty, they're actually kind of easier to dodge, which is, at least for the speedrunning purposes, normally you can just probably shoot them pretty easily as they're coming to the left side, from the left side of the screen. But in a freestyle kind of run, or one where you're trying to fight the enemy as much as you can without dealing as much damage to the bullet fodder, you want to be really shooting them as much as possible, so it becomes a little bit harder to dodge when they're just coming from one side of the screen rather than just floating all around and doing their own thing. I'm going to be doing something a little bit more risky here with Ninja, though. He can come out from any location.
Yes, he's RNG, unfortunately.
Try to get as many good patterns. That's not bad.
That is not a bad Ninja at all. He's being a lot nicer to us than he was in practice yesterday.
Oh yeah. And 2-cycle, not bad. Very good.
Nice! We always want 2-cycle on this boss, at least.
I am always stoked to see a 2-cycle on Ninja. Now, on our next phase, we do have a bit of a more close to bullet hell situation here. But let's see if we can do this without running out of truck.
Yeah. Quick explanation, because I forgot to mention this at the start of the level. This is another good example of where you can see the pink purple versus the yellow bullets. So when we're playing as Ren, we can deflect pink purple bullets, whereas if we're playing as the rifle, we can deflect those yellow bullets.
Now here, I'm going to be seeing if I can switch weapon as much as I can, while also not falling off the edge. It is not insta-kill, as Bleed 1 would make you think.
But it is not ideal to fall off the edge, unfortunately.
Yes, you do still take damage and spawn on like the nearest rocket, I believe is what it is. He would have been really more successful if he just stopped shooting rockets there, but
yeah,
has to be a fair boss fight, I guess.
Yeah. Alrighty, here at the start of the launch is another one of those sections where you'll see a lot of that tight movement, a little bit, something you kind of saw there was I believe that was a dash reset, where he hits the ground and it resets his dash without him actually stopping. And that resets the dashes so we don't have to keep pausing and jumping every time we want to reset our 3 dashes. Now this is an annoying boss.
As far as this auto-scroller goes, this is a place where I do not want to get hit most. If you do actually end up getting hit, the screen will automatically slow down a little bit, and then slow down to as much as it was when the level had ended up starting to move. So, great for beginners, not so great for when you're wanting to go fast. But if we do have anything the host would like to say, now may be a time for it.
I do. Well, we have a $10 donation from Lilac Olgosi. It says, "Let's go, let's go." Thank you, Lilac, for that generous donation. And that puts us over the $2,400 mark. We're at $2,402 and 67 cents. We gotta get the cents in there. So, yeah, thank you everyone for that.
And thank you for the donation, Lilac. A friend from some other communities I have as well.
Boss gets a nice teeth brushing at the end there from that chainsaw.
you have happened to play Bleed 1 before, you may recognize the bosses as the original greatest heroes of all time, or at least statues that were made of them. So it is a bit of a nod to fights in that game. Though this time we're only fighting one of each instead of two.
Nice. And then our favorite boss.
Oh, we love Robo White. He's so good and always shoots missiles in exactly the right locations.
And by exactly the right locations, we mean exactly right locations to hit.
Yes, he is very accurate. Oh, this next boss, this is very odd. It's a bit of an oversight, where the hitbox of the flying kick attack is actually in the same exact location as Bunny's hitbox when she's flying around super quickly like this. So when we have the flying kick equipped, that completely just opens Bunny to damage from her own bullets. Whenever she passes or collides through them, she ends up taking damage from the actual kick, so it just gives us a bit of free extra damage.
It helps us keep our style.
And just kills the boss faster.
Yep. Anything to kill them faster and the level faster.
Get a good backwards long jump in just because. RNG manipulation. That's what we'll call it.
Suddenly this has turned into a Mario run.
Or Mega Man.
Ah, that's a good point.
Ah.
Nice.
Getting a lot of Energy Blast here. Get an extra effect in just cuz, and then Segment Slide is down for the count. That's one of the ones where most beginners would end up having a bit of issues, but with a bit of dodging and attacks that can, you know, shoot through the segments, makes it a little bit easier.
Gotta get rid of those bubbles. Ooh, this is one of my favorite bosses in the entire run, simply because movement looks really cool. And by movement, I mean hardly moving at all.
Yep. Anything we can have our chainsaw sink its teeth into is a good boss in my book. See if I can get the time here.
To get this, try and not get full shield on this boss.
Just barely?
That was.
I'll take it as a win.
Yeah, we will definitely take that. Gets all those extra hits in.
Just get to chill out here for 2 seconds while the door opens.
Get to dodge more. Get some more tight movement in.
That was a very close dash reset. I was not sure if I would have hit that. That was very, very good.
Yes.
A lot of the times we can just dash towards the edge of a platform. Sometimes Rin adds like a bit of sort of a coyote jump where the platform is a little longer than it looks.
Ooh,
So
RNG here.
she can actually end up falling from the platform and getting the dash reset by like, technically landing on it. Like during that fall, which is a bit
Fortunate we
Go.
did not get
Bit
a
odd.
2-cycle here.
still 3. I'm okay with 3 cycle.
Yeah. We will take a 3-cycle for sure.
Also, not dying on worship, that's another thing that is very, very okay with. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
This level is definitely the most difficult level in the entire game, so I'm all good with that.
Bye-bye.
Even after and like in the top percentages of the leaderboards, it's still a pretty common thing to see any kind of deaths, even like a planned one in a run, like before a boss fight or something like that.
Yeah. And speaking of
of-
deaths, you might see a death skip here towards the end of this fight to save a 12-second cutscene.
Yes. I am very grateful I submitted normal, because if those little androids that come in end up shooting, or if it is on very hard, they will actually end up shooting you after you kill them. So I believe on normal and easy they do not do that. I'm not sure about hard offhand.
Get some train selection in here.
Those flies, when they come down, they do actually have, like, some of them have enough room between them to be able to dodge just by standing still, but that is quite a risky thing to do, especially without slowing down time. That was a very, very good end on Valentine. We always want her to be as close to the ground as she possibly can, so she's not taking 5 minutes to fall down.
Nice death skip.
Yes! Okay, saved. Save the 3 cycle.
Fantastic.
So normally in this game, in a new game, you would end up having to taunt in order for the crowd to throw projectiles to break the shield. Instead, in this game, you can just shoot her with a rocket. You can do an energy blast and fire a fully charged laser. That'll end up deleting half of her health bar, and then as long as you shot like 2 to 3 rockets per the fight, if you do it just one more time, it'll just end up getting the full kill 2 cycle and you get the win. It is kind of hard to do at first, but you can get the timing to make it really, really quick.
And here's your friend Ventus.
Ah yes, the friend. The friend who wants us to be stabbed minly. Okay, get some weapon swap in just because. And we got our best RNG at final attack. That's how it can be when running RNG games.
Yep.
We're aware of this. We sign up for this.
We truly do sign up for this as runners.
Come on.
He's gonna go try and go for a laser skip here. Nice. Trying to dodge these rockets. As much damage and dial up as we can.
If possible, I want to see if I can kill this guy while he's swinging off screen to give a little bit of an animation. But it does not seem like he's going to use an attack to be able to merit that.
No, unfortunate.
It's only like a 2-second cutscene anyways. Not too bad. On a spider core, we kind of just like sitting around.
Yeah.
He likes his lasers today, it seems.
Yeah, really seems.
So do I. I think I may have switched to energy blast there, actually. We'll see.
Oh
Nope.
yes, we need teleport and laser.
Normally a laser can get a very long segment to be opened up, so I usually start with laser in this mode, or this fight here. It's very nice to have.
And welcome to Minecraft.
On this, we kind of just want to stay in the same lane as much as we possibly can, all while shooting the center part of the boss. As we enter into our final level, I'm going to be starting off yet again with a laser blast, and we're going to hope that we don't get any katanas. The ones that we're looking for are the pistols into flying kick, as well as tennis and a giant missile that comes across the screen.
And this is our
Just
final rival
stand
fight.
Yes!
Nice,
Tennis is
we got
very,
some
very
tennis
tricky to
there.
do.
Oh man. Love when we get that tennis.
And time is coming up when the screen gets to black, which is... or when it darkens, which is right now.
That's time.
That is time. I'm curious what the time was. Are we under 20 minutes?
Looking real quick.
We did it. Let's go!
Let's go!
That was actually
time.
just as fast as my one of the other warm-up runs I'd had, so I'm okay with. I'm totally fine with getting anything sub 20. But as far as this goes, I'm sure. Are we still having or needing any other time to set up other runs, or do I have any time to show off one last thing?
No, I think we are needing to go into the next run. We really appreciate this awesome run that you've done. We wish we could see more because this is a really, really neat speed run. So thank you both.
All right. Well, if you do want to see any more, I believe this game is still on sale currently for about $4 with Bleed 1 included on Steam. So if you want to pick it up now, it's definitely a good time.
Yes, it's
definitely a lot more. There's a lot more replayability with all sorts of characters. There are different cutscenes when you play as certain characters as well, along with if you want to go online with a friend maybe. There is an open beta for that on Steam. So that's been a whole lot of fun when I played it. The dev thinks it's too, like, buggy or glitchy that he wouldn't want to release it in the full game, so it's not going to be added that way. But I've still ended up having a blast online with other people in my like same time zone, where lag is very low. You can actually add more lag if you do play online though. So if you're in like another location or something like that, you may have like 7-10 frames of lag. It's still totally playable and it's really, really fun. So
yeah.
If you want to check it out, I would totally recommend it. I do want to thank Fox for coming in for commentary. I really appreciate the assistance with seeing what's all happening in the run, and also, of course, to the entire Bleed community for stopping by, along with anybody else in the speedrun community.
Yeah.
If you do want to join, we do have a Discord server for Bleed, and I believe it is on Reddit, it's on Steam, on Twitter. We have a Bleed Running account where we host all of our events as well. So if you want to stick around or check out any kind of races, go check out Bleed Running, and we'll see you guys around.
Yeah. Definitely.
Sounds good. Thank you both for that wonderful run. And alright everyone, we are rotating Metal Slug X back in, and that is going to be run by Sneaky Star. So hang with us for a couple of minutes. We're going to be right back. We're going to go on a quick break, grab some water, hug your dog, hug yourself, do whatever you need to do to feel happy and safe in your body, and we shall return shortly.